Voice. Let's go. Voice FM.
On Southampton's Voice FM, this is your Green Breakfast. My name is Xan, and there is volunteering, and then there is volunteering. Some people do a couple of hours a week, while a few volunteer for a whole year. And that's the case with our next guest, Ian Lawrence, a marine pilot in the port of Southampton. But for the last year, Ian and his family of four have been volunteering for the international healthcare charity Mercy Ships. Ian was granted a year's unpaid leave from Associated British Ports, and his two children, 8-year-old Abigail, 5-year-old Piran, paused their UK schooling while his wife, Elisma, paused her business. And in July 2024, the whole family packed up their home in the UK and flew to join the Global Mercy in Tenerife, where the ship was preparing to sail to Sierra Leone. Ian joins us on the line. Very good morning to you, Ian. Or is it Captain Lawrence? Is that your official title?
Good morning to you. Yes, I believe it is indeed. Yes, as my children take great pleasure in calling me.
That must feel very good. I think all dads would like to be called Captain, whatever their name is sometimes. But the before we get into the fact that you decided to do this whole year, you're captain of a ship that's at dock, isn't it? You don't actually do any sailing. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. The ship is very much a floating hospital. So once a year it comes back to Europe for maintenance and repair. But other than those two short voyages, it's docked in a West African country, primarily providing healthcare. Yeah.
Interesting. So how do you keep everything? I mean, it must be obviously very easy to keep things shipshape, but how do you keep everyone working as if they are on a ship as opposed to potentially a day job or on holiday?
Yeah, it's a really interesting challenge. Everyone serving on board are volunteers, professional mariners, engineers, medics, and practically every trade that you need to keep a small town running. There's 500 of us in total, and my role is very much to keep the technical side of the ship working. So our guys are doing maintenance. The African environment is quite harsh, a lot of sun, a lot of weather and those kind of things. So we keep the ship maintained. We bring the stores on and off, the lights on, the air conditioning running so that the medics can do their bit down in the hospital.
I see the penny has dropped. So everyone being a volunteer means that everyone there has actually on a mission to do something. So therefore, it's quite easy to get them motivated.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very different from a normal ship. The people here are extremely motivated generally to contribute their skills to helping others, basically.
And what does the ship do in port?
Yeah, so it's a surgical hospital. And if you were to walk through the corridors, you would think you were in any Western hospital. We've got 6 operating rooms, and we provide elective surgery to people in countries where it simply isn't available to them. So operating on things such as facial tumors, cleft palate, bowed legs, burn victims, and offering them a chance at getting the healthcare they really need in order to be able to move on with their lives.
So do people come from far and wide to visit the ship?
Yeah, absolutely. Long before the ship arrives in a country, there's a concerted effort to get news out about our arrival, and then teams tour the country, screening patients to identify those with conditions which we can help, and then they're invited to the port where the ship is docked for further screening. And eventually up to 2,000 of those over a field service are selected to come on board and receive surgery.
That's fantastic. It's such a great service. I'm sure a lot of people thinking there should be quite a few more of these ships out and about. Is this the only one?
So our organization has 2 ships, the Global Mercy here in Sierra Leone and the African Mercy, which serves Madagascar. And they, over the almost 50 years the charity's been in existence, they've served many countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and they're actually building a new ship to replace the Africa Mercy as she comes to the end of her life.
So when you first heard about this, how much convincing did you need, and then your family?
So I've followed this charity for a long time. They're well known in maritime circles. They always need professional mariners to come and crew these vessels. And I shared that story with my wife a few years ago, and we were just captivated. But what really enabled it for us was the provision of a an accredited school on board, so we could both come and work, and the children would be taken care of and educated in a school environment, and that's really been the enabler for us.
For the children, you've got Abigail and Piran. Was it like a bit of a difficult thing for them to leave their friends, or were they more hooked on the adventure?
A bit of both, yeah. It's a huge deal to pack up as a family and leave your life behind and venture off into the unknown for a year. But they've taken it in very good spirits. Once we got here and they've met their new friends and seen their school, it's been very much an adventure. And getting off the ship at weekends to explore, to see a totally different culture, and to take in everything that Sierra Leone has to offer has been a real once in a lifetime experience for them.
Well, I can imagine it's quite an international cast you've got assembled on the ship. Have they learnt any new words, expressions? Have their accents changed? What have you noticed, the differences from this time last year with your children?
Yeah, there's over 60 different nationalities in the crew, so there's always different cultural interactions and languages being spoken around the ship, and they've really picked up and thrived on that. Interestingly, the other children in the school attempt to mimic their English accents, and that's been quite entertaining.
And how about you and your wife, Elisma? How do you think you two have changed over this year?
Yeah, it's been an emotionally very intense experience, both relocating the family and experiencing these things firsthand. And I think we've grown as people. We've really enjoyed being able to use our professional skills for a good cause. You know, we've both been blessed with first world training, with a lot of opportunity, and we've been able to bring that and serve others who haven't been afforded that, and that's been really special.
And was there anything really unexpected that's happened in this last year, or has it all fairly gone to plan?
I think we didn't come into it with a huge amount of expectation. We knew that we were packing up our lives to come and live on board a ship, and that ship would go to Africa. But other than that, we didn't really have a picture of what it might look like. And so therefore, it's just been fascinating to watch everything that's come along, every opportunity that's come up, both the community life on board the ship and the opportunity to get out into a part of the world that you would otherwise never come to, and meet the people here who are absolutely wonderful.
And what's the weather been like? That's a typical question everyone asks. And not first of all, it's the journey, but what's the weather? Has it been? I mean, I know there's been a lot of extreme weather in Africa recently. There's a global heat wave affecting all countries from China through to Mexico and Canada. But has it affected Sierra Leone much?
So Sierra Leone's got very much a tropical climate. So we arrived in the middle of the rainy season, and it was torrential rain. You never knew it when it was coming. If you went out, you could get drenched at any moment. And then around November time, the dry season started, and that is just an extremely hot, dusty time. Even if you go outside at 3 in the morning, the air is 25, 30 degrees, and it's like breathing soup. So yeah, it's been a very different climate to back home. And there's been times when we've video called family and seen frost on the ground or pouring rain and gone, oh crumbs, it's that season again, which has been totally at odds with where we're at in the climate world cycle.
So what's the first thing you got to do when you get back? Because I think you get back in July, don't you? Obviously, if it's been a year.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to obviously meet up with family and relay our story. But I think for me, it'll be probably a trip to the curry house for a curry. I've missed a good curry.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Captain Lawrence, Ian Lawrence, who is currently on board the Mercy, one of the Mercy ships, Global Mercy, with his family, been volunteering for a year, helping them provide a service, a much needed health service in the Sierra Leone. Thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck on your return.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much.
Voice FM.